Bo Nix right here was on fire in the first half of Sunday's game against New York Jets. This is his touchdown to Nate Adkins here. And the Broncos offense, they're going to catch the Jets in a nickel defense, which means that there's 5 defensive backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Linebacker right here walked out. Linebacker right here as well. But as you see, pre-snap, pre-motion, Marvin Mims is going to come this way. This defender is going to cheat inside. So you can tell that they're playing man coverage here based on the motion. Now they get the man indicator here. I'll go through and draw everything up here in just a second. But obviously a wide open touchdown here for Nate Adkins. So let's play it back. You get the motion here from Marvin. So that's how you get the man indicator, because this defender right here, the nickel, he walks into play some linebacker. Now, obviously, they walk out this linebacker right here, essentially. As you can see, you got a safety over the top. You have a corner, Sauce Gardner, playing on Cortland Sutton, a linebacker inside the box, and then a backside safety that could help out on anything coming across. He looks like he's going to try to climb maybe deep middle, but Cortland's route right here, he's going to run in breaking. He draws Sauce and this safety into the end zone. So he draws out 2 defenders here. Now, because you have man coverage, these guys I don't think communicated effectively enough, or there was a communication here as well, because what you have is you have a numbers disadvantage, right? You get Marvin here on the motion. You got to have someone play him as man, because Sauce is playing man right here. Safety's over the top. Ideally, you want to have man coverage right here from the linebacker, but with Marvin motioning out here, he takes man responsibility on Marvin, and now you have Cortland's route right here, drawing the corner and the safety away. Nobody is covering Nate Adkins, and Nate sells this perfectly. He's coming off in the slot as if he's just going to come out here. He's going to stock block 1001 and then release for the wheel. And then you've got obviously Marvin kind of being the decoy guy here. J.K. Dobbins going to run underneath here, and then just that's really what you get. So let's watch it once again. Keep an eye here on Nate Adkins. Does such a great job stock blocking, because realistically, the Broncos usually will throw this to Marvin. You get blocking right here, and then it's just Marvin out in space trying to make guys miss one-on-one. So they buy it up on Marvin. Nate Adkins, wide open, touchdown. Beautiful design here. Once again, the Broncos' quick passing offense was great in the first half. I'm not sure why Sean Payton then went away from it, because the quick passing game would neutralize what was happening, which Matt Peart filling in for Ben Powers. He had a rough game. He was struggling. There was a lot of interior pressure inside the A gap, B gap over here as well. On Peart's side, he had a rough game. So why did they try to set up more long developing plays in the second half versus just going to the quick passing game, the no huddle up tempo move? I don't know why the Broncos went away with that. Bo was on fire in the first half here, and then he got things going in the second half as well once they went to the more quick passing approach here. But touchdown, Denver, nice play design here to get the Broncos on the board. This was a huge play for the Broncos offense. Unfortunately, it's going to get called back here due to a holding penalty on Matt Peart. Troy Franklin is going to be the recipient as the Broncos catch the New York Jets defense in man coverage. As you can see, Sauce Gardner working the slot against number 2, Cortland Sutton. Stevens, the corner, playing against Troy Franklin, who's lined up as the number 3 receiver here. And then you could obviously work against Evan Ingram. Linebacker lined up man alignment against R.J. Harvey. Here's what route concepts you're going to get here. Marvin's going to work here vertically, which is going to take not only the corner, but because you're running the wheel route here to R.J. and the linebackers on him, you kind of almost run a little bit of a pick route here against the linebacker, whereas you have Sauce on Cortland, and then you have obviously Stevens on Troy Franklin. Route concepts here, as I mentioned, we talked about those ones. Cortland Sutton, an inside stab, is going to sit here at the sticks because the first down marker is right here. Troy Franklin coming underneath the formation, Evan Ingram as well, and Troy is wide open because the Broncos do a great job of creating traffic here for the corners to have to cover, the linebackers to have to get through. I mean, this is tough for this corner to have to get to Troy Franklin because now he might have to run into his own guy. That's why Evan Ingram and Troy did such a great job on their routes here. Bo does a great job of setting his feet and firing this throw here, but the protection is a little bit of an issue here, and it leads to this play getting called back due to holding on Matt Peart. Let's run it back here once again. Just watch how Cortland's kind of creating this vertical clear out so Evan could come underneath, and then Troy could come underneath as well, because it puts this guy into a bind. It puts number 8 into a bind because he has to climb and try to get on Evan's hip and get across the formation here. Linebacker has to come underneath the corner just to be able to get to R.J. Harvey. This is just a well-designed play call here by Sean Payton. Good execution by Bo. But let's take a look at the end zone angle because this is going to show us what happens in the protection realm here. Obviously, we're keying Matt Peart right here because he was called for holding. Watch what happens here. defensively, because he's just going to attack Matt Peart head up and is just going to work him, kind of get him to stand still for a minute. Number 72 is going to do a great job of crashing down and just blindsiding Matt Peart, forcing him to hold, and it gives up some interior pressure because now, I mean, look at this. The pocket collapse. Now you get Garrett Bowles having to step wide against number 95. Bo does a great job. Watch his footwork here. He does it, I think it just, boom, leads anticipation, sets his feet, fires the throw. Troy Franklin perfectly. Let's watch it again, though. We're going to slow it down. Watch what these guys do right here to Matt Peart. 95 and 72. This is what happens on the breakdown, and this is something the Jets defense did quite a bit. It was a rough game here for Matt Peart. He was the only guy on this play that struggled in the protection realm of things. Bo delivers a great throw, and unfortunately, this big play gets called back due to a penalty. Can't have that happen against the New York Giants. The Jets special teams pinned the Broncos deep into their own field territory here on their own, 3-yard line. And they're going to catch the Jets defense here running a cover one, which means that man-to-man coverage right here, man here, single high safety playing in the middle of the field, and then you have linebacker obviously playing man alignment here. If J.K. Dobbins were to go this way, you get man coverage right here. You've got this defender here, defensive back playing man on Adam Troutman. And then if something happens here, because you're sending 51 as well, then 44, he's just going to be covering the tailback the entire way. So he's got to key him here. You're going to get, obviously, just a vertical route right here. He's going to throttle down and come back to the football. Troy Franklin gets called for offensive pass interference here, which I think that was a terrible call. Cortland Sutton, an inside release right here, and then across the field here while that safety plays that middle third. I thought it was a terrible call here. If anything, this play should have been offsetting penalties. Unfortunately, it leads to a holding call on Quinn Miners, and it leads to a safety here that gave the Jets the lead in this game. So let's watch it. I want you guys first off to watch this, okay? We'll break down the end zone angle when we talk about offensive line protection and what went wrong. But you tell me if this was offensive pass interference in your opinion. Troy does a great job settling down. Defensive back is holding it. I don't know how that's offensive pass interference. Let's watch it again. I just don't like that. I think that's a bad call. If anything, should have been offsetting penalties, redo of a down. Now, let's watch the protection stuff, right? Obviously, Quinn Miners right here is going to get called for holding. He's going to get blown up on this play. But I want you to look at the offensive line in general. They got number 97 lined up in a zero tech, which means head up on the center. What's going to happen is he's going to attack just for a moment. This guy right here is what creates havoc on the interior. He's going to attack inside and try to blow up Luke Wattenberg. But Matt Peart right here just lets this guy go inside. Look, you're going to get rushed from these guys. Okay, so Garrett Bowles should pick him up one-on-one. You've got two guys right here that can pick up and work up against Jermaine Johnson here. There's no reason, and I don't know what the Broncos O-line is coached to do, right? This is just me reacting to it. This could be my speculation, but I don't think that you're just supposed to allow this guy to come inside freely. Now, obviously, this design here is to attack and then dislodge and then try to wrap him back inside here from a pressure standpoint. Well, this guy, obviously, number 72, he blows up Quinn Miners here, and then you're going to get Mike McGlinchey with the one-on-one against the linebacker. Just watch this, and we'll blow back. Obviously, Luke Wattenberg's communicating to Bo something. Not sure what it is, but he's got to worry about him man-to-man. Watch the inside track right here. This is what is problematic to me. A free release inside is always bad news. If anything, you should be stepping down and then getting ready to recenter here to work against this defensive lineman. Now you let him clear out Luke Wattenberg. Obviously, this guy could stunt. And then now, doesn't help right here. This is the clear hold that gets called on Quinn Miners here. Just gets kind of bull rushed right there. And once again, let's watch it slow motion. You tell me here, looking at this, if this is supposed to happen here from 79. There's got to be better communication between he and Luke Wattenberg on here. Instead, you get the free inside release, which allows this stunt to essentially work for the Jets defense. Pressure in the end zone leads to a hold and then results in a safety because it occurs in the end zone. I don't know how Troy got called for offensive pass interference there, but I didn't like that call one bit. The Broncos defense late in this game, this was a huge drive for Bo Nix and the offense. They needed points after trailing due to a safety in this game here. Marvin Mims in the backfield is going to obviously catch this play. They're going to catch the Jets in man-to-man coverage right here where you're going to get Sauce Gardner against Cortland. And then this safety as well is going to play. It's like they're bracketing Cortland here. You're going to get Sherwood lined up one-on-one against Marvin Mims. And then obviously man here, single high safety playing the deep middle, and then your routes, you're just going to get this right here from Sherfield. You're going to get a release as well from Troy, working inside. Cortland, hard stab inside. And then basically it's Marvin on the swing, the wheel route right here. Taking advantage of the one-on-one matchup. Bo, obviously a six-man rush as we see here with the D-end, linebacker. You're going to get this, and this. So 6 guys rushing a quarterback. And obviously Jamie Sherwood's going to have to climb underneath this right here to try to take the best angle to get Marvin, which he'll take Marvin in that one-on-one. And Bo sees it right away, fires the shot here to Marvin. Yards after the catch. This brings the Broncos into field goal range, ultimately helps them kick what would have been the game-winning field goal. They should have blown out the Jets by a lot more, but you know what? We're not going to nitpick here. Watch it here once again. You get a safety and a corner here bracketing Sutton. 2 guys on one, single high safety, man here, and then man here. It's just taking advantage. Okay, we got a 6-man rush. We got that blitz. I'm going to get the ball to my guy in space. Marvin does the rest. This was a big play. The Broncos needed this one. Let's take a look from the protection standpoint here. What do things look like? Now, obviously, when you got guys standing up, third down situation, some guys drop back. Some guys will actually go. Jermaine Johnson, very, very good pass rusher here. We're just going to keep an eye on the protection, the communications here. As you can see, Sherwood cheats over 72 late as the ball is snapped. And now Luke Wattenberg is looking to work against him. Obviously, Jermaine Johnson, you got Quinn Miners and Mike McGlinchey working a double team. You get a one-on-one with Adam Troutman against number 9. And then Matt Peart is keeping his eyes here peeled because you're going to get the outside rush here, and then 51 is going to attack inside. So Wattenberg's going to stay on 72. 51's coming in, so Matt Peart has to work with him, and then you get the one-on-one right here with Garrett Bowles. And as you can see, anchoring down here, Wattenberg, Quinn Miners is looking to see if anybody else is coming, so he just helps. Bo gets the ball out quick. First down, move the chains here. The Broncos offense has to be better against the Giants this week. Build off that first half that they had against the Jets. I'm not sure what happened, but the second half looked completely different.